As the Chartres community assembles in our circle, may this fire of life, the clear fire of vision, of passion and desire, lead us forward in practical ways, uplifting ways that meet the challenges that lie before us, healing the earth, coming together again in relationship with each other and all of life. This beautiful mystery, we enter you again, Mother Chartres, sacred hill of Carnut and Druid, one more time. As we enter your cave this morning, we do so with reverence and humility and ask permission to enter your mystery, that we and life might be whole again, so to renew. Mama.
Hello and welcome to the monthly Chartres community call. We heard Ruth Cunningham in the beginning in the opening video and followed by Apila Colorado's wonderful invocation. I'm Banafsha Sayat, sitting for Jim Garrison, who's traveling today. And now I would like to introduce Lynn Bell to give us a star report.
Welcome, everyone. And as I speak, the moon has just entered Aries, which is the very beginning of the zodiac. It's at 0 Aries, very big new impulse forward. But I don't know how many of you in the past week or so have had things go topsy-turvy or not work out the way you had planned. As I said last time, Mars is in Scorpio now, and it's just been activating a whole square to Saturn. Next week it will oppose Uranus, and this whole process of not being able to do what we would like to do, or suddenly having to turn on a dime, pivot really quickly, is what we're in right now. And in my own life, I was really looking forward to going to Amsterdam next week to teach for a group there, for an astrology group. And it just got canceled because Amsterdam has a new lockdown. And here in France, numbers just shot up, 14,000 today of COVID again. So it looks like, as a little bit we expected, because the third Saturn-Uranus square is coming at the very end of the year, that we could be entering again into a tightening in some parts of the world. Next week, we're also entering eclipse season, and as there are 2 eclipses every year, they come in pairs, 2 weeks apart. So the first eclipse on November 19th is the very first of a series that will be in Scorpio and Taurus. The past 2 years, the eclipses have been in Gemini and Sagittarius. So Taurus and Scorpio, in some ways, are more powerful signs. They have to do about what we have and what we let go of, the acceleration of change and the resistance to change, extremes. We'll be seeing the nodes don't shift signs till January, but we'll start to see the eclipses. The 19th is Joe Biden's birthday. So I think there'll be a lot of talk about that. But we have also the day before the eclipse, Mars opposing Uranus, which is again, everything can move very quickly or change very quickly. It is at the very beginning, you can see there's a movement forward, like we saw in the concert in Houston last week with the really unfortunate loss of the lives of very young people. That there was a desire for everybody to come together, and yet the circumstances are still a little bit complex. So take your opening while you may. My advice to you is go take a few risks, walk over some boundaries like all of those who came to Chartres did last month, and take that while you can, because there'll be another small contraction in the time coming up. Perhaps not immediately, but towards the end of the year, certainly. And at the same time, this is an opportunity for all of us to once again see what it is, what our desire is. So even if it's temporarily redirected, even if it temporarily takes us somewhere else, or opens something, so it opens something for us, even if temporarily it goes in a different direction, it will open up again. This is not a forever thing. Yeah, that's what I have to say this time. Blessing.
Good to see you again, Lynn. Good morning, everyone. For those of you who haven't met, I'm Apila, Colorado, and I normally do the invocation at Chartres. I was there at the beginning with Bob and Jim and Andrew Harvey. Last month, 7 of us took the plunge and made a trip to France. It was a little terrifying in some ways because COVID and international travel and restrictions, and what if we get caught there, and what if we get sick when we're there, those kinds of concerns. But for me, the desire was so strong to be back to Chartres. I couldn't resist it. I longed for Chartres, and I love these calls too. I feel that beauty, that power of that place, and I need it. It's central to my life. So we had the call and we took it. So we spent only 3 days at Chartres, and our purpose in going there was to renew our vows, our commitment to that place and to the learning that comes from it, and to our community, and to remember our community to Chartres, to let the people who work with us there, like Mary Lou and Manon, the people at St. Yves, know that we would return and we hadn't forgotten, and that we love them deeply. So we arrived in Chartres, and when we got there, we took some photos to share with you now. The elements of the Chartres Mystery School, the invocation, Lynn Bell's marvelous astrology, and Jim's talk, we were able to incorporate those into our small 3-day gathering. And we also had Genoise silks. Of course, with just a small group, we couldn't use the Saint Charles room, but we used one room across in the Saint Charles room where the faculty normally meets, and hung our silks. And of course, the deepest, most profound moment for us, other than actually arriving and having a hug with Mary Lou, was walking the labyrinth. You can imagine, with only 7 of us, it was a somewhat strange experience. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And Matt had recorded music, but we missed all of you. The absence of community was really a deep longing for you and each other. So what we're presenting today, the dream team, the 7 of us who made it there, including Bob Meyer, who is outside of the dream team. We prepared 4 video clips. The first is just to show you what Chartres was like right now. And then we'll stop and I'll make an introduction to the dreams that we had. There are only 7 of us. There were a few days, but still the dreams came with an important message this year that's different and helpful. And then we'll stop again and I will talk to you a little bit about the steps that we're taking. Okay. And then we'll return again to the video for a promo piece. Veronica Kutzer has designed a Chartres dream blanket, and we have our dream journals. So we're going to share that with you. And finally, we'll conclude with a light show, which reminds you all just how marvelous and beautiful the mystery of Chartres and Chartres Cathedral is. So with that, let's get underway. And the first video clip is our coming back to Chartres and how it was. So Matt. Thank you, Matt and Rick, with the technology help. So the dreams we had at Chartres, they began, as most dreams do there, with warnings, with problems that we're actually living right now. The theme of the issues part of the dreams that were shared is that we're in a waiting room, that we don't have the food that we need. Two of us dreamt of being injected with neurotoxins. In my own case, I actually confronted the person and got away. We went from the problem statement and including driving a truck or being in a truck that was out of control and a lot of fear. We went from that in the dreams to symbols of change presenting themselves, showing us we're all crunching numbers, and a tiger's eye stone and silver showed up. We got the message, I can give you the medicine that will work. I cannot give you the medicine that will work for everyone, but I can't give you the medicine perfect for you. Wait, did I say that right? Can't get the medicine that will work for everyone, but I can. All right. I can give you the medicine that will work for everyone, but I can't give you the medicine that will be perfect for you. Then comes the alchemical change in the dreams. There's a wind, it was liquid, and there was a path. There was a young man in the dream, Todd Horswell, and Todd means death in German. He had a full life after death, like a Facebook. I could see it. I can breathe underwater. I see a hammerhead shark, which is magnetic navigation. It's going to be okay. Then we move to reconciliation and finally sacred action. So Matt, will you show the video of the dreams now, please? And this is Veronica's composite of all of our dreams. Thank you, Matt. What was really startlingly different about these dreams is this: at the very end of the dream sequence, you see the fox on the clay tablet. All the years that we've been doing dream work at Chartres, as an Indigenous Oneida woman, I became concerned because we go to that hill and we look to the dreams and we ask for guidance and we receive it, but we're from all over the world. There was no action, no unified action I saw coming out of our group in response to the direction and the help we were given from that sacred site. And I had the feeling the last few years, if we cannot figure out how to take action from what we were receiving, maybe we need to quit doing this dream work and asking for help. And this time, when the fox showed up, the direction came. You probably will not know this, but during the deep pandemic, we did a session of dream work virtually, which is called Dancing with Uncertainty. And in that session, fox dreams, the fox showed up in 3 different dreamers' dreams, people who did not know each other. One was in Kazakhstan, one was in South Africa, and one was in California. In the first case, the fox was rabid. In the second case, the fox was fearful, but the dreamer holds it and comforts it. And in the third case, an actual fox walked right inside of a person's room. And she said it wasn't a dream, but it felt like a dream. So that was a few months ago. And to our surprise at Chartres, in comes the fox again. Why does it matter? Because the fox is one of the elementals of transformation. It's the trickster, it's the crossroads, it's chaos, it's change, and it's integral to creation. Finally, movement for our Chartres community, for our dream team, and finally, movement for help towards our planet, so it seems. So just to give you an example of how the fox medicine works, by the way, the fox can be a raven in the Northwest coast. There are other trickster figures. Sometimes it's a rabbit, but the effect of like the change that Lynn was talking about in her astrology, it's the same. So in comes the fox. And here it is again at Chartres, this time on a clay tablet with symbols on it. So I couldn't place why it was haunting me, that image. And it wasn't until I returned home about 2 weeks ago, and I remembered that I have a friend who's a PhD in biochemistry, and he's from the Dogon tribe of West Africa in Mali. And in Mali, they have a ceremony with the fox, which you saw a picture of at the end of the dream clip. The diviners of the Dogons make rectangles in the sand and put symbols in them. And they make prayers and they call to the desert fox to come and give them direction, because in their cosmology, the fox and chaos start creation. So they make their prayers. It's at sunset, and they put some peanuts out because desert foxes like peanuts, I guess, and they go to sleep. And the next morning they get up, and the pattern of fox footprints on the sand is what they divine from. Because this dream came of the fox pouncing and landing on the clay tablet with the writing, I contacted this friend, this Professor Yassine Kouyaté, and amazingly, the call went through. I hadn't talked to him in years and didn't even know if my number was right. And it's WhatsApp, and it went right through to Mali, and he picked up. And WhatsApp, he told me, normally doesn't work there. So I asked him, I told him about the dream, and I asked if he could approach his elders and do a ceremony for us at Chartres, that we could better divine the meaning of our own dreams. And I reasoned that the fox walking through our dreams is like the fox walking across the symbols in the sand for the Dogons. So that's what's happening right now. And to me, it's a big relief, because I want to be more clear in how we understand the dreams. I want us collectively to be able to take guidance from these dreams. I also appreciate that going to the Dogons, going back to Africa, takes our dream work back in time and place too. And finally, it means a lot to me personally, and as an Oneida woman and a woman that's nearly half French, Gaul, asking the Dogon for help, one of the oldest people and most culturally intact people on earth, for help for us who have especially European ancestry, but all people who have been disconnected from whole mind, indigenous mind, related mind, earth mind, to ask the Dogons help us to get our ceremony back is a big ask. And I'll find out in a week or two what their response is, and I will share that with you. So the good news is the fox has shown up and there's movement. We will be able now, we have the capacity and we have the inspiration to be able to move as a community. And it's starting right now with our dream team. So now we're going to go into a little US promotion here. One of the ways we're moving is Veronica has created a beautiful blanket, like a double ply plush. It's almost a twin size bed in its size, of all the Chartres dream work that we have for sale. And we also have our dream journals. So Matt, would you show that clip? And of course, this is a nonprofit, so we're not making money from it. Thank you, Matt. So the dream blankets are just beautiful. So you can sleep beneath Chartres dreams, and it will be a good Christmas gift. But the other thing is, the other action that we're taking as a dream team is we are now applying to do an exhibition in 2023 at the art gallery down the hill from the cathedral, and it was a former basilica. And in it, we'll be hanging Veronica's, they're like Muslim screens, and they have all of the dream images from her composites through the years at Chartres. And Ryan Hurd, who has been to Chartres once, and myself and the dream team are now putting together an art book on Chartres dreams, and Matt putting together soundtracks. So in 2023, God willing, and COVID stepping back, we'll be doing an exhibition to share this beauty of what we've been given through Chartres dream work. So those are the actions that the Fox has fostered in us. And I hope that you'll be a part of all of that with us in some way that works for you. And in the meantime, support Veronica's work and dream work by getting a blanket, and for sure get the dream journal. It has a QR code. You can hear Timothy chanting, and you can see the symbols of a Gaul ritual set and a labyrinth and original artwork on it. So that's my attempt at promotions. Okay, so I'd like to conclude our video presentation this morning with the Chartres Light Show that was playing while we were there last month. So just enjoy. So thank you, Matt and Dream Team, for all the work you put into creating these videos. And I hope you, our community, I hope you've enjoyed this. Banashee, did you want to say something, or shall we open for discussion now?
Thank you so much, Apila and the Dream Team. What a moving presentation, reminding us of what it's like to be in Chartres. I'm deeply, deeply grateful, as I'm sure everyone else is. So yes, please let's open up the floor to anyone who wants to make comments. If you have questions for Apila and the team, and I see other team members, other Dream Team members on the panel. If you would also like to say anything, we would love to hear from you.
Yes, come on, Samantha, Matt, Lynn, how about a few remarks about our experience here? We have time this morning.
I just want to say it was incredibly beautiful to be back there. And after so long away, not knowing if we'd actually ever be able to go back there, is very reinvigorating. And with the sacred grounds being replenishing my body and mind, it was very, very uplifting. And I'm very happy to be a part of it and to be able to create a few things that can help share that experience to everybody else. Thank you.
Samantha, are you on? I can say, I don't know if I don't see her, but she was on earlier. Anyway, Samantha is new to the Dream Team, although not new to Wizen. And she had never been to Chartres before, so I'm going to say her reaction. She wasn't raised Catholic either. So she walked into the cathedral and she tapped my arm and she said, "I'm crying." And that's the beauty of it, huh?
Yeah, Apila, I wanted to say that, of course, I live in Paris, so it's easy for me geographically to go to Chartres, but it's coming with the group, no matter this core group of people who have a root in Chartres. It's like it was almost like we connected to that well of memories and feelings, the ancestral energy that Apila always invokes, but so many experiences. And we felt all of you with us. I think that is, there may have only been 7 and sometimes a few more people with us, but what we felt was the presence of all of you as we walked, as we touched the stones, as we saw the light. And we were very lucky, we had very beautiful light during the days that we were at Chartres. And what of course Apila hasn't told you is that we also celebrated, and some of us received her book, which is not just about this, but about a much larger piece. And I want to say that for all of you who are on this call, for those of you who haven't been to Chartres, and for those of you who have, we were carrying you with us, or we were connected to you in some ways. And that's also the beauty of the dream work that's done. It's we're connecting into something much larger than each individual who's there. So thank you, Apila, for making that happen.
And it was interesting you say that, because especially when we were on the labyrinth, when I was walking it and when I came off and looked at it, I could see in my mind's eye all of you and all the years and all the people walking and just really, really longing for our community to be back again.
Mm.
And yes, your presence seemed like I could even see you.
Mm.
I'm wondering, I see Gail and Ashley on the call as well. Rick, can they talk?
Yeah, they just unmute themselves. They can talk.
Okay.
I can unmute them. Gail's unmuted.
Maybe move to Ashley because I'm not seeing Gail.
Okay. Ashley's unmuted.
They're together, that's why.
Yeah, we are together. So it was wonderful to be back in Chartres, and I share the sentiment as we were walking the labyrinth, feeling the presence of community there, but not present, and longing for and remembering everyone who's walked the labyrinth before, and maybe even who will walk it in the future, and feeling the hope that our return marked the promise, as Apila said, that we will return and carry the tradition if that's what's meant to be. And it was lovely to gather and carry the tradition forward and be receptive. Thank you.
Gail, you want to chime in?
Just to echo what everyone has said, and I should say also that our newest little grandson was also making his first walk around the labyrinth, and so we're excited to actually bring him in person. But one of the things that I felt very strongly when we were all finished at the end of walking the labyrinth, we were standing around
Mm.
Hallelujah.
What was that? There. Anyway, it was
spectacular to be able to close my eyes and just hear everyone singing the Alleluia. It was really magical.
Thank you, Gail. So with that, Rick, can we invite the community to come forward for any questions or comments and celebration maybe?
They just raise their hand. I'll see them. I can open their mics for them.
So I see
Claire.
Paolo wants
Claire.
to share a dream.
Claire's up, and then go to Paolo.
Mhm.
Claire, your mic is open.
Okay. Hi. I don't see anybody. I just see my name. So I hope this is working. I just wanted to thank you so much. We really felt carried to Chartres during those days, Pilar. It was wonderful. Like you were a little tugboat going out ahead and tugging us all behind. And let's hope beyond hope that next year everybody will be there together. So thank you. Thank you. It's been a beautiful presentation today. Thanks.
You're welcome, Claire. We missed you there too. And of course, we lit candles for you, Claire, for Carolyn Meese, and for our whole community. Putting them like fervent prayer, please let us be back next year. And we will be back.
So Toby has his hand up. I'll open his mic. Toby, you're open. Toby closed his mic. He closed his mic. Let's move to something else then. Banashe, oh, go ahead.
I see Paolo's hand raised. Rick, Paolo?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you're unmuted now. That's
Good, thank
Toby.
you. It was wonderful seeing all the faces and dreaming about being there next summer.
Mhm.
I found a very interesting thing this week. I've been working on a large painting, and in the painting, a fox showed up. I didn't ask him to be there, he just appeared. I was laying in bed this morning, thinking and visualizing the people that I feel closest to in this lifetime. And the Chartres community were at the top of the list. So wonderful to think about next summer. I look forward to seeing you then.
Oh, thank you, Toby.
Paulo's mic is open.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. So nice to be here and seeing all these wonderful pictures. Very touching. Just want to share that approximately 3 weeks ago, I was walking in the park in Rome, and I happened to encounter a fox. And so do not know when foxes were seen all across the world, but mine was approximately 3-4 weeks ago. And she was just very still watching at me, and was very original and typical to see it in one in Rome. The other thing I wanted to share is that I had last night 2 special dreams. I so much resonated with what Lynn just shared earlier. I was supposed to go to Nepal last Friday, is a trip that's been postponed many, many times. My wife got tested positive at the beginning of last week. So now I'm rescheduled to travel tomorrow. Let's see whether I will be allowed to go. But last night I had two dreams. One was about, I was meant to sing. I was invited to a dinner. In the dream, I was invited to a dinner in around outside Boston to a very dear friend and mentor of mine. And I was meant to sing Amazing Grace. And that was a very special, rare version handed by this man to me. And I was just about to prepare and to play the song with my son playing at the piano. And at that house, it was a very special gathering of ancestors. The dream finishes with me kind of cheering and toasting these dear Swedish relatives of mine. They are past gone. And so this is one dream. And that dream somehow followed another dream where I was walking in a sort of mountain bushed pathway, might have been Nepal or just the valleys going up to Nepal, where I hope to be in a few days. And in the dream, I encountered a black panther. She somehow still in mid, somehow part in a bush, part out of bush, and she's watching at me. And we exchange looks. And somehow we both feel that we will not harm each other. And she's looking towards me and I go past, somehow having an exchange at a heart level with this panther. And it's very deep, profound as an exchange. And then as I passed and continue my path, back to the panther, so touching, there's another panther. And this is a red panther. And the red panther somehow is less quiet. There's an anger in the panther. And I kept going. And she comes next to me and she attacks me. And she attacks me at my neck, on my back. But somehow I know that she cannot harm me. It's like the feeling I got was that of being attacked by being in another reality. I know that there's a physicality that doesn't touch me inside. So just wanted to share those dreams. And again, it was lovely to see all the wonderful pictures of Chartres, the labyrinth, and all this wonderful energy. Thank you all.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Paulo.
So Brenda's microphone is open.
Thank you, Rick. I just wanted to say thank you for the little view of Chartres and to comment about the fox, which is, of course, Hermes or Mercurius, and he's in charge, and we have to follow him when he appears, and he's usually pretty sure-footed. And the other thing I would like to say is that I've just received Pella's book. Took a long time to come here in France and looking forward to it. So thank you for writing it, and I'll probably write you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda. It was 8 years in the making. And
yes, I can imagine. Mm.
So Helen's microphone is open. Helene, your microphone is, she's not responding. Banashe.
Oh, hi. Sorry, I guess I didn't realize that I raised my hand. but happy to say hi to all of you. And actually, I was walking on the graveyard 2 weeks ago, and a fox was walking with me. So hi to all of you.
Good to hear from you. Keep your eyes open, changes afoot.
So Christiana's mic is open.
Hello, everyone.
Christina, I'm sorry.
Hello, everyone. My name is Christina Solaris. I'm coming to you from a place whose name is Nushlalachwem, which is an island off the coast of Vancouver. It's now known as Bowen Island. I'm grateful to have had the joy of receiving your dream work and medicine work. This is my first community call with you. I recently joined Ubiquity, and am also like a medicine woman, Hungarian, Turanian, Celtic, etc. I wanted to thank you for this dream work, particularly because I'm actually going to be on a plane to France in 2 weeks, and have felt Chartres calling very strongly. And I wanted to actually also ask, I don't know if anybody would be able to comment on the strawberry that was in one of the first dream panels. It was on the bottom left. And I only ask because in my school, we work with constellations and their totems and their plant medicine. And strawberry has literally been following me for months. So I was quite surprised to see it popping up. Thank you so, so much.
So, Christina, I will ask Veronica to get back to you on that. I think it was her dream.
Okay.
In my tribe, the strawberry is our first ceremony in the spring, the first fruit after a long winter in northeastern US, southeastern Canada. And we believe that when we go from this world to the other world, that strawberries will mark the way of the path.
Wow, thank you so much. That makes so much sense. I've actually just come out of a long winter myself, and my father passed 2 days ago. So there's definitely a feeling of both spring and the hereafter.
And the drink, when you have we collect, wild strawberries are like barely even the size of your little fingernail. And we gather all those and make a drink out of them. And it's used in the strawberry ceremony. And there's something about the preparation. It's like you drink it and you're in heaven.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Thank you. I feel that so much.
May your father be having a good passage.
Thank you so much.
Mary Ann's mic is open.
Hi there. I'm also calling in from Canada on the north shore of the St. Lawrence River, north of New York State. I was in attendance at the very first Chartres session, and I've been longing to return, and I'm wondering what the theme will be this coming year.
So Banouche, is it Musica coming up?
The theme is Rhetorica, actually.
Rhetorica, yes.
Oh.
Okay, Marianne, it's Rhetorica.
I think that was the theme of the very first one as well. Okay.
Pila, there's a question also from Susan Thornton, who's asking about the significance of the linden tree.
Lynn Bell, do you want to comment on that, the linden tree?
Sure. That was my dream, the linden tree. And, in France, I had a dream where somebody had filled a room with linden flowers to dry, but it was just completely full. And in France, the linden trees are the trees that line all the park walkways. So when you have a big open park on the side, they're the trees that create shade and have the sweetest perfume. At the end of June, they just fill the night air with the most wonderful perfume. And you drink them as a herbal tea to sleep better.
Thank you, Lynn.
You're welcome.
So, Rick, if there's no other hands are up,
No, I don't see it. I
then
don't
we
see any other hands.
then we can bring this to a close, Banushe. And thank you, everyone. It was just beautiful to hear your voices. And someone asked Rick if they could see everyone's faces, but it looks like on my screen, it looks like everyone is arrayed, but there's just no pictures. But can you open it up after Banushe prays so we could see each other?
No, there are too many people. There's over 60 people.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I can do it, but it might cut off at 50.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe that, but in any event, everyone, if we don't open it up, please, can you open up the mic so people can all say goodbye to each other and we love each other and all that?
Yeah, we can do that at the end. Yes, Rick, possibly. Can we see the video of Ruth?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you again to Apila. Thank you to Lynn, to Rick, and to everyone who, with your loving presence and your words, made our call truly wonderful. I ask all of us in the name of love to please bring our hands onto our hearts as we navigate the very fast changing terrain of the turbulent times we live in, may we remember our bond with the Chartres Cathedral as an anchor and give thanks. Give thanks for being alive in these very potent times where both individually and collectively we have the opportunity to release the old ways that no longer serve and birth a new way of being that is in resonance with the earth and the sacredness of all of life. Thank you again. And if we can unmute everyone so we can say goodbye, send love to one another. And we will meet again on December 12th, everyone, for our final community call of the year. Blessings, so much love to you.
So aloha, everyone from Maui. Oh, can't wait to see you again.
Au revoir, everyone from France.
Au revoir, Brenda.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye. See you
Bye-bye. Bye-bye,
Bye,
everyone.
from Rome.